Hey, Russell of Hotels going live just for a couple minutes. You guys know how I do it. This is the daily check-in with Russell of Hotels. I do this Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Of course, after a big trip, I gotta do it right. I haven't, I kind of been MIA for a minute. I think I did do a daily check-in a couple days ago, but I'm back in LA, right? So fresh from the NYC, and as you can see, as you can see, I have a guest today. She's live. She's on the East Coast though. She's like in North, South Carolina, West Carolina, something. I don't know, somewhere around there. But none other than Miss Tiffany English. So hey, Tiffany, welcome to the Daily Check-in with Russell of Hotels. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for having me once again.
Of
Appreciate you.
course, of course. I always love a guest to come on and someone that's willing to come on, a willing participant. Okay, so Tiffany and I are both planners. I mean, I do hotel. I call my business hotel site selection. Okay, where I basically find hotels for my clients. That can be corporate groups, leisure groups, whatever the heck it is. Tiffany calls herself an event planner. So that's a little different, right? Am I right, Tiffany?
It is different. I call myself an event strategist, event marketer, because I don't just plan the event. We talk about what we want the event to do. So outcomes, the goals, the strategies, all that. But yeah, you got it a little bit right.
Okay, see that's good. See, I never looked at it like that. As an event strategist.
Mm.
Okay, so no, I just help meeting me myself. I'll help the planners for whatever companies or organization they work for find the site, meaning the hotel site, whatever, for them, and then they do all the content, all the bells and whistles. So Tiffany does it. Takes it what I do a couple steps further, I would guess. So there you go. But we both had the opportunity to attend the SMU Conference, which is part of the Northstar Meetings, which I thought was a great meeting. I thought it was a great event. I thought it was a great conference. What do you think about that?
No, I agree. I thought it was great. So I think you mentioned it was your first time. It was definitely my first time. I've been to North Star meetings before, but that was my first SMU International. So I did not know what to expect, and I was pleasantly surprised by all of it.
Wow, me too, me too. And real quick, we are live on YouTube and LinkedIn, just for the people that did not know, or if you're on, you see us, please follow us, connect with each other, or both of us, Tiffany as well as myself. I'm on YouTube, so please like and subscribe, and that way I can grow my little show here. I would appreciate it. But so getting back to the North Star. So North Star was in New York. Okay, so we were both in New York,
Mhm.
and it was at the Marriott Marquis. Which, and back at my screen, you'll see the meeting space. And back at Tiffany's meeting, she didn't have that capability, but that's okay. Hey, it's okay, Tiffany. It's all right. It's all right. But one thing that what do you think about the appointments? Okay, so I know I had 26 appointments. I'm not sure how many you had. I had 26 appointments, and for the most part they were good. They were, one was better than the other, kind of thing. You start off and then you kind of ramp up, and then as the day goes, people are more excited to talk about their destination. At least that's my perception. That's what I got from um, having a couple of appointments the first day. Would you think?
Yeah, that's interesting. So when you say appointments, just for people unfamiliar, we go to these conferences, and as a planner, we're making having appointments with suppliers, and going what kind of speed networking style. What I appreciated from this conference, now I've been going to these North Star events as well as others, and a lot of times it's a catch up because I've seen them before, and we're catching up, and we're kiki ha ha. So this conference was a little different because I hardly knew anyone. So it was very destination focused. It was sitting there and learning about their destination. And I feel like we maximized the time that we spent with each other because we really didn't have time to get to know each other, but it was very business focused on destination. And like to your point, you said you had good appointments. I feel like my appointments were very targeted because we were allowed to choose and select who we wanted to meet with, and based on that to see who we aligned with. And I aligned with most of the people that I chose. And so it was great that we both had common, wants to meet with each other. So I really felt like the appointments were very top notch,
Yeah,
you know?
I think the same. I think the same thing. Even if you were just fact finding and didn't know about
Right.
the destination, you know, it wasn't like they were put off by that, because
Right.
everybody thinks. I mean, sometimes outside looking in, we have business for everybody. We do not have business for everybody. Let's just throw that out there. We don't have business for everybody. But based on the conversation we have, that can pique an interest from potential clients or whatever. I can bring that information back, give it to my clients. Hey, have you ever thought about this destination or that destination? And then we can go from there, because we've already laid the groundwork. Because for me personally, I don't know where my clients are going to want to meet. From one event to the next, I don't know where they are going to want to meet, because I have a couple clients that do things internationally. Now, they may be doing things, maybe they're only in past meetings, they may have only done things in Mexico, but then now all of a sudden they want to go to Europe. Okay, like, okay, let's do it. They're like, game on, let's do it. And if I've already met somebody from Europe, in particular regions or whatever, then I'm able to talk intelligently about this one, destination versus another, because the people there have kind of shown me the way about their destination. And they're so excited. This is the thing. They are so excited about, showcasing their destination. I mean, we have roughly 13 minutes. In some cases, it was less than that. And they get out a lot of information, because we'll talk about the flow of the meeting space, right? Because you're going from one to the other. They gave a 2-minute warning, but that 2 minutes is maybe another 2 minutes they can talk about their destination, right? So you're getting to the next appointment maybe a little shy of, it could be a couple minutes shy of 13 minutes, because for each appointment it was 13 minutes. You think 13 minutes was enough to
Um,
make it?
Absolutely not. Oh no, of course not. Of course not. But seeing it from the eyes of an organizer, I get it. They're trying to pack as many as we can, and we went all day, right, Russell? This was a long, conference where typically sometimes we'll do morning to maybe mid afternoon, but we were there. We put in some work hours on
Yes,
that first
yes,
day,
yes.
and so and that was a big conference. From what I heard, I think, what was it, total 450 between
Yes.
planners and suppliers, and at least 150 suppliers, because they were all numbered. And I remember seeing 150. I think it might have been like 168. So I get that they want to maximize our time, but to your point, no, 13 minutes definitely not is not enough. Now, for me on the strategist side, marketing side, if it was me and I was a supplier, I'm going to see who I really want to talk to and see if I can hit them up maybe at a pre-event. Maybe hey, can we chat? Can I buy you some coffee before the event starts? We didn't talk about this earlier, but I was invited to a private lunch um, to talk about to hear some luxury hotels before the event started. And you tell me you're buying me lunch, I'm hardly ever going to turn you down. I'll listen to just about anything. So, there's opportunities. Like you said, 13 minutes is not a long time, but if you can maximize some time to have some one of those other conversations that you want to talk to, especially if they're prospective clients, I know if I was in that position, I would definitely do that. Just cut through some of that competition that you're competing with our time, right? You said you have 26 appointments. I want to say I had 29 appointments. But you're competing with conversations of so many other destinations. How are you going to be competitive? So that's just my, my
That
two
makes
cents on
sense. You
the,
gotta you gotta do something to differentiate you from someone else, or maybe if that's spending
yeah.
more time with them, i.e., inviting them to a separate event like they did with you. FYI, I didn't get invited to any damn extra stuff. Okay, I just
But
then
you
again,
just,
I wasn't
you
there
weren't on that
early.
list.
Obviously, I didn't make the list, and that's okay, I guess. But to your point, there's at least 164. because I'm looking at my list
Okay.
here. There's at least 164 suppliers, and that's a makeup of hotel people as well as CVB people or tourism boards or DMCs as well, right? So, yeah, so no, we had, like I said, the first day was 19 appointments, and they were packed. I mean, just 19 appointments of running back and forth from one side to the other side. But it was, like I said, it was so exciting. I wasn't. I'm not complaining. I'm just explaining, right? With the flow of it, and
Yeah.
but there was a lot of walking. We definitely did get our steps in. So shout out to Northstar and whoever arranges this. Thank you so much for allowing us to get our steps in, because we definitely did. If we wanted to or not, we got the damn steps in. So, but
Yes.
but no, it was all good. And this is a daily check in, but it's good that Tiffany goes to this as well, and that way I can have someone else come on. I don't know what Tiffany's gonna say about it, but it's good to have her come on and talk, because a lot of times it's just me talking about these events that I go to, but it's always good to have someone else there and a different perspective. Maybe we had a different perspective on certain things, right? But we definitely had at least 26 appointments. We both knew that there was at least 164
Yep.
suppliers there. And then I guess for us, it was, what was there, at least 150 of us there? How many, or is more planners than supply? What,
Okay.
what would you say?
Yeah, so there was more planners. So I'm hearing the number 450
Okay.
total. So I imagine there had to be at least 300 planners
Okay.
and then 160, you know what I mean? Because it was a full house, wasn't it? We were
Definitely full
packed in.
house. But a lot of them
Yeah.
travel with other people. So say if it was one hotel, they had a DMC with them as well.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
actually two
Okay.
companies. Yeah, actually two organizations at certain, because most of the appointments had at least two people, right? I mean, there were two suppliers when you
Yeah,
sat
I
down.
feel. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
so maybe what?
yeah.
200 planners. I mean, just ballpark.
I'm gonna
There's
say.
definitely more planners. I feel like there was more
You think it was
planners,
more
right?
planners? I'm thinking there was more suppliers.
More suppliers. Is that how
That's
that
what I'm
works?
thinking. I could be wrong. I would say it's probably an even number for
Mm.
appointments. So if it was,
Okay.
yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna say that. I'm gonna say that. But
Yeah, we'll
whatever,
go with
it was good, and I think it worked. And I think North Star, shout out to them again. I think they do a great job of putting this together. This is my first SMU, like you mentioned. And the international flair or vibe is totally different from
so different.
the US vibe. And I'm just gonna say, I'm just throwing it out there. Okay, so don't get mad at me. Okay. And what I mean by this, can I say this? What I mean by this is, okay, so let's just say for lunch yesterday. I'm just using this as an example because I still remember the presentation. It was who was it? It was Korea. It was Korea, okay. Korea Travel or Tourism Organization, and I'll mention the young lady's name, Juri Sale. Okay, so she did a presentation. Just so happened right before lunch, I had an appointment with her. Okay, so she was just excited about, tell me about Korea, all these different things you can do. And of course, I threw things into food, right? So I'm looking at my own interests at this point. Okay, I'm gathering information for my potential client that may be interested in going to this potential destination. But of course, personally, I'm thinking about the food because I love Korean food, right? So I said, "What do you think about what about the food?" She goes, "Oh my God!" And she's talking about, and she's just so excited about everything she is talking about. I mean, just like I want to be there. Like I want to get on Korean Air, like after the show, and go to Korea, to go to Seoul, and just experience it, right? And then, okay, so that was my appointment, which 13 minutes. Okay, we go into lunch. Okay, Korea happens to be the sponsor for lunch. So they do this video first, which is probably, I don't know, 5 minutes. Let's say 5 minutes. The video, 5-7 minutes. The video goes on, and it's explaining the same thing she explained, during the lunch. I mean, during my appointment, and then she gets on stage. Now she talks for about 30 minutes, and she's talking about, and the same energy that she had for me
Yeah.
at my appointment was the same energy, maybe even a little bit more, than she had on the stage. So it was great, and she took a full 30 minutes to talk about that destination. Which, if I wasn't sold during the 13 minutes, I definitely was sold during the next 30 minutes that she got a chance to talk. But I said all that to say this: we do these things all the time, right? And domestically, I don't get that same energy from some of the CVBs that are domestic that present just like that. I mean, they may be hosting a lunch too, but and I don't know if it's the time that they get. I don't know, because I know that's what you're about to say, but
No.
it just seems like they have more energy and they want us more than maybe. I'm not saying that our domestic partners don't want us, but we don't get that same energy.
Yeah, agreed. And I mean, now that I'm hearing it from you, it's completely different. It's night and day. And I don't know if it's because the outlook is different, because, we go to these and we hear about a location and, maybe we have an experience with that, or maybe, I was there last week because it's US. But to your point, Korea, I was ready to go. I'm over here like, let me Google flight. Okay. Because I was, and to your point, it was definitely energy, and every single presenter brought it. They painted a picture of their country, and you said Korea, but I want to say shout out to Colombia, even though I was there, but I was ready to go back. I was ready to go
Yes.
back.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Share
what?
share some information about Colombia. Share that information as well.
Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, so, well, no, you have the information about Colombia, about their big PR campaign that they've been able to really, transform the outlook of their country in the last, 20 something years. But it made me really excited about the future, and I wanted to get in on it. And the fact that I have spent some time there, and from an entrepreneurial standpoint, where any country that I go to, I need to be able to still work there. So the Wi-Fi was always good. Some places where people like to go, but the Wi-Fi's spotty, and they talk about sometimes they have outages. I'm like, I can't run a business if there's sometimes outages. But so
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
I I heard Colombia was just great for digital nomads. I went out there, made really great connections in a thriving community. But to hear it from a business standpoint and a meetings standpoint, that their growth and development, and to your point, their passion,
Yeah.
and and we saw that. And then back to your point about international versus domestic. I completely agree. It was a different energy, but I wonder if do we play a part as well, because we're just so, I'm not going to say jaded, but we're just so used to certain destinations that we just don't feel the same energy, or
But that's okay. I mean, but you got to bring it because you have a captive audience, right? You have this captive
yeah.
audience. Everyone has not, contrary to what people think, and I'm just gonna say across the board, everyone does not know your destination exists. Everyone does not know that your hotel exists. So when you get an opportunity to talk about it, to present, to pull out all the stops, that's you're on stage, right? You're on literally you're on stage talking about, especially if you take the time and taking the resources to apply it to hosting a lunch, a breakfast, a break, and they give you an opportunity to talk. I mean, you need to come with it. You need to bring it. And I
And
just
they
don't.
brought it, didn't they? They brought it. And then, they wove into the theme. I mean, we were eating good. We were getting the
Yes.
presentation. Everybody was smiling, and shout out to my girl Corinne, who was sitting next to me, talk about when we going. Like,
Yes. Yes.
we were all excited around that table. Um, but it brings me to this question, Russell, because you brought this up. Now, do you think because we went to this event now, presentation wise, it sets the bar? Now we're going to other conferences and saying, you better bring it.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Because
Yeah.
yeah, and we go to a lot of conferences, probably 5 to 10 conferences a year. I would say that we go and we listen to presentations like this. And yeah, once again, this is my first conference where there was an international audience. I mean, international suppliers that were there. in fact, all of them were 100% of them were international suppliers, and that's made up of hotels, destinations, CVBs, and DMCs. So just for so people know what I'm talking about. So
Yeah.
yeah, if they can bring it, then why can't we bring it here? You have a captive audience just like they did. The format was the same. They were able to sponsor lunches and breakfasts, and if they wanted to bring you in early, they could have done that as well, right? So there's opportunities to do that. So yeah, the bar is set now. It's as far as I'm concerned. Heck yeah, the bar is. I can't even see the bar at this point because I think we need to step up our game because if we want business, and they made it a point, they want business from here. They want business from America. That make no point of it. They want American visitors, incentive trips, group, whatever it is, if that's leisure, whatever it is, they want people coming and experiencing their destination. And that's another thing that I appreciate, that they're out in the open and say, hey, that's why we're here. That's why we're here, because we want your business. They may have representatives here locally. I mean, in New York, I think some of them had a representation, meaning they had offices in New York, and I hear they have some in LA and different parts of the country. But that just goes to show you that they're interested in this particular LA. I mean, the United States as a market for them, and they want to get business there. So, like I said, they didn't pull any punches. And then you mentioned it that okay, if they sponsored, let's just say, was it Colombia? They had the empanadas, right? Was that Colombia?
They did.
Okay, they had the
Yeah,
empanadas,
yeah.
so it was
And the
themed,
coffee.
and the
And the
coffee
coffee.
on that you can take with you. So
The
if you
tea,
didn't
yeah.
remember it, yeah, if you don't remember it from the food and from the presentation, you remember it because you got to give a takeaway, something to take home
Yeah.
with you, not just a business card and highlight. I mean, just one thing to salespeople. I mean, I'm just saying, just so you're a general salesperson that goes and makes appointments. Don't come with your business card. Don't come with some outdated sales kit or whatever that you could email to me. Come with something that I remember. Okay, that I'm gonna remember. I'm not gonna remember you from a business card. Okay, but if you gave me
Mhm.
something that was something about that particular destination, it can be, I don't know, it could be a notepad if it had your name on something that I can
Sure.
use, right? Or it can be some food, like say you send me, like it was Colombia, you can send me some empanadas in the mail, or how to make empanadas, a recipe, how to make empanadas, something like that. I'm gonna be,
How do you make empanadas? Yeah,
I
that
don't
is a good
know,
skill to
but
have.
they can send that stuff, like an empanada
Yeah.
making kit. I mean,
Agreed.
something like that that you remember. We're talking about this now, right? We're talking about this
Yep.
now. We're talking about Colombia. We're talking about Seoul. They happen to be, or Korea. They happen to be the ones that presented and they hosted, right?
Sure.
And there was some serious takeaways, right? I mean, things you brought home back with you. So, I mean, I just think we need to up the bar when it comes to, like, I mean, to your point. Yeah, I'm saying, yeah, we need to up the bar.
For me, I feel like the conversations were very tailored and detailed. You had made a point about they weren't put off about our lack of knowledge of that. They just wanted to explain their destination. I remember one destination, and I said, I know, I honestly don't have anything. She's like, but you will. You'll probably talk to somebody who may have an interest, and we just want our name to come up in conversation. And so for them to have that, that ease, it wasn't about where's your RFP,
Mm.
because I mean, in an
Mm.
international conference like that, we're getting, so it was tailored differently than some of these domestic conferences. And just in January, I had 3 RFPs, because the suppliers that there or happen to be who I was in touch with. But in an international conference, you still have to get that knowledge, right?
Yes.
That awareness. And
Yes.
they took the time to explain it. I mean, they did their research, and a lot of my appointments, they asked questions before they went in. They said, hey, have you been to our country? Have you been to our destination?
Mm-hmm.
What do
Mm-hmm.
you know about it? Some of them painted a picture. Oh, this is like the Caribbean of so and so. So it kind of got me like, oh, okay, now I can picture what your destination looks like. They had maps.
Yes.
I come on now, our American education. I don't know how many of us got that real great world geography. They were pinpointing maps and making sure, oh, we have direct
Yes.
flights from this
Yes.
city. So I
Exactly.
feel like it was very tailored to their U.S. planners,
I
right?
agree. They did their homework. They knew who they were dealing with. They knew that some of us have a lack of knowledge of geography. They definitely did that, and they definitely had it out. Like, this is where we are. Okay, no, 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 not there. This is where we are over here.
You are here.
Yes, yes, yes. You are absolutely right. You hit
Oh
it right
goodness,
on the
yeah,
head. So, and they,
yeah,
like you said, the biggest thing you said, they weren't put off by that if you didn't have anything, because they gave them an opportunity to explain their destination, where it is, how many flights come in there, and once you get there, how easy it is, how their rail system is easy for you to
yeah.
navigate, and that's specifically
Oh,
like the European countries where
oh,
they mapped it
absolutely.
out. So yeah, so it was definitely an
Yeah,
eye
shout
opener.
out to like in Spain. I was like, "Whoa, we're thinking about Madrid and then taking a plane." They're like, "No, no, no, you don't want to fly. Hop on that high speed
Yes,
train and you'll be
yes,
here in 2 hours." So now it's
yes,
like we have that knowledge that we can
yeah,
pass on to for these programs. So yeah, I really think it was very well explained, well organized,
yes.
an educational opportunity that you couldn't get from a website or Google, right?
You are so right. You are so right. So yeah, so that's being in person is yeah. There's no way that a website is going to take the place of someone actually there that you're able to ask questions and they're explaining things as to where they are and how to get there and the ease of getting there. Well, I mean, of course they're going to say it's easy to get there. Until we get there, we'll see for ourselves. But public transportation is readily available in a lot of these different countries. And some of the
Hmm.
countries are so small that they're right next to other countries that you can incorporate. And they didn't have a problem with saying, okay, well, you can come to our destination, but there's other destinations around us. A short, 2 hour, train ride. That you can go experience that as well. So I'm like, they didn't have a problem with exposing the other destination that were connected to them or around them. And that's one of the things, because a lot
Agreed.
of a lot of destinations here, like they're focusing on theirs. They can care less about what we border or what's next to us. But yeah, so I thought that was interesting as well, where we don't care. We just want you to come to Europe. Okay, we don't care where you go. If you don't go here, you can go there. As long as you come to Europe, bringing that money here, that's fine. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So no, I had a great time. Some great conversations. I got, of course, I have my whole stack of business cards. So what I do is take my stack of business cards along with, all the appointments that I had, and I'm gonna go through LinkedIn and link with
Yep.
everybody. If they have LinkedIn
Yep.
accounts, I'm gonna request that I link in with them. Is that something you do? How do you do this after, as a post trip exercise, if you will?
It's so great that you do that.
So you
I'm
don't do
hoping
that?
people
So you
watch.
tell me you don't do
Well,
that?
no. So I'm hoping they LinkedIn me first. I'm hoping. I'm like, this is a great practice. I hope our suppliers do this on their end so I can be connected. Oh goodness. So honestly, I try. I've LinkedIn like live for people that I've had direct conversations with on the spot.
Okay, okay, I like that.
So the answer is no. I have not gone through the whole business cards of everyone that I've met. But if we've had a conversation, because and I'm like, I'm about to link in you right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, go ahead and
Okay.
accept that connection. That way, so we're top of mind, and we can keep that conversation going. But you make a good point about the the admin part of doing your appointments and things like that. So no, I probably should do go through that. Um, but I honestly, Russell, and we talked about this before the follow up. I'm hoping everybody that I talked to that had a really good presentation. I was like, can you please send this to me? No, seriously, I want to see this on my own. But like you said, the 13 minutes is just not enough.
Yeah.
I can't even. They were, they were giving you some good tidbits and tips, and I'm like, please make sure this is in the presentation because we hear it was all day of conversation. I can't connect which conversation I had with who. Please make sure you follow up and send this to me. Like I am begging y'all to follow up with me. So I did mention that after all of our appointments. But I will do go through my top ones
Yeah.
because like I said, like we do. I mean, it's still business as usual, right? I mean, this is one conference, but we still got to go do our day-to-day work. I don't have time to spend hours of going through and requesting people. So I am gonna put my top contenders on there, especially some ones that I really want to follow up with some future programs. But that's about it, to be honest.
That's
And then I got to
fine.
move on.
If that's how you get down, that's how you get down, Tiffany. Okay, I'm just letting you know and everybody else know what I do. That's my
Gotcha.
process or my yeah. So, and I always say this: these trips are not the work. I mean, you're meeting people. The work starts when you get back to your office. Okay, because now you have to like on the side of a supplier, they need to follow up, right? They need to compile all the information who they met with, just like we have to do, but they have to follow
Yeah.
up. They should initially because they're the salespeople, right? So they should
Right.
initially will take the lead on that and follow up. But I'm saying what I do because, of course, I have a global, of course, I'm trying to grow other things as well, right? So I do the meeting planning thing or the hotel site selection, but I also have a talk show that I want to appeal to more people. And what's the good way for me to do it, to grow it, is on LinkedIn, right? So I want to make sure if those people are on LinkedIn, I'm going to link in with them. I want to connect with them because I don't know what future business as far as meetings is going to happen or
Hmm.
groups or whatever. And then also, I don't know who would like the opportunity to maybe showcase their hotel on this particular show. So I don't know. So there's a whole big reason. There's probably 10 different reasons why I should do this, right? But I think it's a good
Absolutely.
practice for especially salespeople to get into because, like I said, the work doesn't start when you're on the trip. Okay, I'm not saying that's all fun, but it's all meeting people. It's all about meeting people and trying to organize your next appointment. And I get that, but when you get back to your office, if that's another week from now, 2 weeks from now, shouldn't be no longer than 2 weeks, and you should be getting in touch with those people, reaching out. Hey, it was nice meeting you. Whatever. Let's connect on LinkedIn. Blah blah blah. Whatever the heck it is, and then go from there, right? So and follow up and
Agreed.
whatever. So that's just what I do. The whole world doesn't have to do it. Russell's not right for everybody, right? But this is what Russell does. So anyway. Woo, that was a good one. So what's another
Oh
takeaway?
goodness.
What you have any more takeaways? We don't have to spend all day on this. I mean, we've been on this 33 minutes, and it's been a good conversation. And once again, we're live on YouTube, live on LinkedIn. This is the daily check-in with Russell of Hotels with my special guest, Miss Tiffany English. And I appreciate you coming on. And we did this earlier on IG. So if you follow us on IG, I think there's more energy on this show than it was on the IG. But we're putting
Oh,
out,
oh,
yeah,
that
yeah.
was shade. Okay,
but
that's a little
I,
shade. My energy perked up. Is that what you're saying? Okay,
it's been a
that's
good
interesting.
conversation. It's a great conversation. Shout out to Northstar who puts on the
Yes.
SMU event. Everybody that's associated with that. I mean, from when you initially show interest to the booking your air travel to transportation to and from, or maybe in this case, from the hotel back to the airport and the hotel that they choose. I mean, everything was great. I do appreciate it, and all the people that are involved with it because there's so many people that are involved with putting something like this together. I mean, you're dealing with hotel people from internationally from other countries, and then you're dealing with
Right.
suppliers that are from here. It can be no easy feat, I know. Um,
And you're dealing with it in New York City. Can we mention that?
oh
Because
my
that's not an easy
gosh,
feat
that's
in
a
in
whole animal in
itself, right?
itself. Exactly, exactly,
Yes,
exactly. No, you're right.
agreed.
Yes, New York, but I guess it couldn't have been anywhere else, right? I mean, where the world
Yeah,
comes together. I mean, New York is probably
I
the
mean
hub for
Chicago.
that. No, we don't. No, no, no. We don't want to do Chicago. No.
Chicago? Come on
No, no,
now.
no, 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 no. New York is for this particular meeting, this conference. I think New York and the Marriott Marquis were a great venue for this to happen.
I was not disappointed. I like the city vibe. I mean, when I tell you in the middle of the action,
Yes.
that was the middle of the action. So yeah,
Yes. In the
yes, yes,
days
yes.
of
I agree.
old,
I agree. The energy,
what
the
dreams
yeah.
are made of. There's nothing you can't
No,
do.
I
No.
heard that song so many times. You know how old that song is? That song is so old.
Well, so what
Yet,
does that mean?
it, I guess it's. I don't know. You would think it. They were playing it like it just came out. That's why it was so surprising. I guess
It's
that's the
just
theme song.
it's just a theme song for New York. I mean,
New
that's
York.
what other song do you think about when you think about New York?
That's it.
Start spreading the news.
No, 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 no. I'm not.
I'm
No,
leaving
no. I do like that song. I was just
okay
surprised on
then.
how. I'm just surprised how often I heard it over 3 days.
Okay, well, I put it in a video too, so I couldn't do a video without using that song. You know what I mean? So
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But
Make
anyway,
it popular.
very good. Anything else? Any parting words you want to mention? I mean, we covered a lot of stuff in a couple of minutes, and I appreciate your time. So, any parting words for you as far as the conference or the meeting world or
I would just
anything?
say presentations over meals are always a good thing. If you're if you're going to entertain us and present, feed us first so we are happy. Um,
What about
Feel free to
collateral? What about collateral? What about those little? Yeah, let's. What about those?
collateral, like actual like paper collateral.
Yeah. Okay.
Just no. I don't even know where it is. I don't even know if I took it with me.
So you're saying that
Uh,
it doesn't make the trip back home with you?
No, it does not. It does not. And then even the goodies, those goodies have to come correct too, because some of those goodies get left in the room as well.
We'll give an example. What would make the trip back home versus what doesn't make the trip back
Well,
home?
you know, I took my Colombian coffee. Did you get? I should have took yours that was sitting
No,
right
I
next to
didn't
me,
take
but
it.
I wasn't
I didn't take
sure.
it. I don't drink
I
coffee,
wasn't
so
sure how much room I had, but I have 2 bags of Colombian coffee. I wish I would have took more. I wish I would have emptied my little bag and just start stockpiling it. Oh man, I got 2 bags, so we'll see how long that lasts me. That always will make it. Little snacks, little treats. What doesn't usually make it is candles, because I get flagged. So those
really,
big
do
candles.
you carry on though? You
Yes, of
okay?
course.
Well, see, that's the issue right there. Maybe you need to get a bigger bag, put that stuff because that's what I do. All the stuff that I get that I'm not gonna carry on because I may get flagged. I put it in my bag. I mean, put it in the bag that I'm gonna check in. And you get enough points through Delta, you can just apply your points over to
Well,
the
I had.
gift of the bag.
Well, that's a whole other conversation about that other airline that stopped with the free bags. But
Oh well,
um,
shit! Southwest Airlines. We can say that Southwest Airlines stopped
I know, but
there.
that that deserves a whole other
Yeah.
side
Okay.
eye
All right. We
conversation.
won't talk about that. We won't talk about that. We won't talk about
But
that.
yeah, goodies that I'm team carry on. So goodies that get me flagged, and it's not that I can't carry them on. I carried a whole when we were in Atlantic City. They had the trees. They had a charcuterie board with the knife, and
Mm-hmm.
everyone says, you're going to get flagged. You can't get that on. But I got it on. But I had to go to the secondary screening, but I got it on.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So,
All right.
so yeah, things that you know. So yeah, usually those things I'll leave, and anything bulky. I just don't have room in my suitcase. I mean, I think they
Yeah.
should. People should be understand that when we're traveling. Most of us are
Yeah.
flying
Yeah.
to and from, that we have limited space. So to your point about collateral, oh no, it stays where it's at. Please email me. Let's
Yeah.
get into this digital age.
Exactly. Save some trees. We were talking about conservation and all these different things, and then we get a bunch
And
of and we get thick, paper, whatever. So no, let's get rid of that
let me
stuff.
It's a great way to follow up because if you email me and say, "Hey, here's the presentation you asked for," now it's you're opening the door for that conversation to happen.
Yes,
You
there you
know,
go.
and
See that, I like that. Good job. I
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
I like
okay,
that.
that was a great takeaway. All right.
Yeah, that was a great takeaway. And real quick, I know you touched on this before, and I didn't kind of go in on this one. This and it's going back to the how Columbia has changed the narrative about Columbia. Okay, how they market now as a destination, and how they got rid of the whole negative stereotype because people my age and maybe a little older, they remember if they know Columbia at all, it was for some unpleasant things that were happening there, right? But you look at it now and the way they presented it, the way she presented it, it's like this major destination. It's a place where we can go, and like you mentioned, you've been there several times, and how it's so connective. As far as Wi-Fi and their technology is a lot better than you would think it is, right? So um, just the marketing and everything that they're doing to market that destination now versus what it used to be 20 something years ago is genius. Okay, so shout out to
Yeah.
Columbia Tourism. You guys are doing a great job. We appreciate it, or I know I appreciate it, and definitely next opportunity I have to go there, I'm gonna be there, and definitely if I need to bring a group there, I'm
Yes.
coming. So there's
Absolutely.
a
Well, we talked about, yeah, shout out Pro Columbia because I want to do a retreat. And I love that both Pro Columbia and Medellin were there because I didn't know that, one, they had a CVB, and two, I thought I would have to kind of do things on my own. So they said, no, 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 we have people on the ground for this. So
yeah.
that's another reason why we go to these to identify who is on the ground locally because I think that's another reason why it gets a little you get a little stressed and nerve wracking about doing international destinations because you're comfortable here in the US. You know your people, right? You know that there's going to be DMCs on the ground that you can work with. So, again, reason why this worked well because we started to learn no, we have local people on the ground in just about any city, any country that will take a meeting just as we would domestically in the US. So, yeah, to your point, Colombia identified some really great people and they're growing with their hotel market
Mm-hmm.
because I heard word on the street is that there is a Ritz-Carlton coming in Cartagena. So that luxury market is going to go up. They already have a Sofitel that is nice because I did tour it and it's gorgeous.
Okay.
And then my favorite city, Medellin, in the next few years, I mean, it's going to surpass numbers that it's already kind of in that peak where people are showing up. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just, I think that the hotel industry needs to catch up with that demand. And once that happens, you're going to, I mean, maybe we'll have a CMU International there. Wouldn't that be fun?
SMU International.
What
SMU.
did I say?
CMU.
CMU?
CMU. Anyway, okay, we know what you're talking about. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
An SMU, an SMU International. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
have, or something else. I know they do a lot. They have a great convention center as well. So maybe something else maybe there's an IMEX there. I don't know.
I'm going whatever it is. I'm going because I got to check it out firsthand. But no, just the presentation, everything was top notch and it was great. A lot of
Yes.
takeaways, like you said. So,
Yeah,
so yeah.
yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. But that's why we go to these things. We go to these things to educate ourselves, to know what else is out there other than when our clients do ask for things internationally. We're not going in it 100% blind. We
Right.
meet with people and that way we can give our opinion on certain things and maybe we'll have people that we can actually send this to. I mean, if we've done these things and we meet with enough people, um, you know we do have people that we can talk to, and remember I met you at the SMU conference. Oh yeah, you were there. Okay, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Boom, there you go. So anyway, that is it. So this is daily check-in. I know it was a little longer, but 44 minutes, this is good. This is good information. Tiffany is giving me good stuff to talk about. So we'll have to do this again. Okay.
Anytime. I
All
got
right.
you.
So you take
All right.
care and shout out to was it South Carolina, North Carolina, South Carolina?
Charleston, South Carolina.
Yeah, shout out to Charleston, South Carolina. That's where you are, and that's where you need to stay. Okay, that's good
Oh,
home base.
geez.
That's home base. Anyway, you guys take care. Have a great week. You as well, Tiffany, and thank you again for joining this daily check-in with Russell of Hotels. I'll do it again tomorrow. So if you didn't like what I had to say today, we'll just tune in tomorrow, and maybe there's some other stuff you don't like either. So anyway, take care, and as always, have a great day and peace.